right way, if you're going to invest in real estate, is to build the business first. Let me give you an example of what that looks like. So if you're going to start a convenience store, convenience store like candy bars and soda machines and all that good stuff. So you're not going to sign a lease on a location, open the doors and set a box of candy bars in there on the ground. No, you wouldn't do that. You go out of business in like 2 seconds. But what you would do is you would build the business first. That means you get the gondolas, those shelving units that all the candy bars go on, the countertops, the cold storage, bank accounts, cash registers, insurance, employees, everything in the business before you buy any inventory. Same thing with real estate investing. We build the entire business first, and every piece of property that we buy is a piece of inventory that we put into the business. And that's how I was able to scale the business. Now, what happens is the quote unquote gurus that taught me, they said, you buy one property and that property is your business. No, no, no. We are investors, but more so, we're business owners. And our property is not our business. Our property is our inventory. Our business then takes that inventory and we put it into that property, we put it into our business as inventory, and then our company runs the business. We hire the right people, the right property managers, contractors, plumbers, roofers, inspectors, insurance agents, mortgage brokers, let's say realtors, wholesalers. We get everybody in the business to run the business before we buy the property. And remember that scenario where I shared how if you did everything the guru said and then you go and call a property manager and they say, no, I won't manage that property because I'll get shot there. Well, that's after you bought the property, which is horrible. How about if you say, instead of I bought this property, you call up a property manager that you've already vetted, you already know you want to work with them. Hey, property manager, I'm thinking about buying this property. How much can I rent it for? What type of clientele would I get? What's the vacancy factor? And will you manage it? If they say, no, I won't manage the property, you'd be like, I'm so glad I didn't buy that property. It would have been a bad property. But instead, you've already cleared it with the experts there on the ground. Remember, we are business owners. We hire experts, just like a business owner hires, let's say, a CPA, like an accountant, to actually do the books really, really well. We're going to hire a manager. We're going to hire the right people, just like that convenience store analogy. If you started the entire convenience store, you built everything, you eventually get inventory, and then you see somebody walking down the street and say, hey, you got a pulse, come in here, manage my company, manage my customers, manage my inventory, manage my money, manage my employees. Well, you might have a bad problem. In fact, like that's what happened to me, was my property manager started stealing from me within 6 months. But what we do is we build the business first so that we then buy the inventory, put it into our business, could be hire experts. Like Zillow's not an expert, Redfin, Trulia, LoopNet, like those are not experts. They literally just websites that try to help you to get some information that they provide. Who are the experts? It's the people that are there on the ground. And you'll know you have a good property manager if you call them up and say, hey, property manager, here's this property, I don't know, number 1 Happy Street. And this property, how much can I rent it for? And the property manager, if they're really good, they're like, oh, I know that area. In fact, we have a property like a block away. We were trying to rent it for 1,300. Zillow said 1,300, but we couldn't. We could only get 1,150 for it. Well, that is expert. That's the best information you can ever get, because let's say you ran your numbers at 1,300. Remember, this is a business. We're trying to make money. You run your numbers at 1,300, but you could only rent it for 1,150. Well, that cuts into your passive income. And so if you cut into your passive income, how are you going to feed your family? So that's what we do, is we build the entire business, make sure that it could run on its own, and then we buy the inventory and put it into our business. So that's the right way in order to build a business, to become an investor, to scale it, to be able to become successfully unemployed.
Yeah. I'm stealing that, by the way. Build a business first. I'll give you
Yeah,
credit, but
there
I'm
we
definitely
go.
gonna. That's such a good
Thanks, man.
tagline. Build a business first, for sure.